we live? Are we live? Are we live? It'd be good if I turned on my mic now, wouldn't it? Yes, that would be good. Yes, sir. That'd be very smart right there. Yes. That would be good, you know. A little bit of turning on my mic. Yeah. Yes. All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. Let's just make sure everything's all set up. All right, we are live. We are live on the YouTubes. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right. Beautiful. Hold on. Let me fix the little glitch. All right. There we go. Bop, right there. Nice. Good, good. All right. All right, all right, all right. Mm-hmm. All right, all right, all right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, let's make sure we're live on the and the X. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Good. Let's make sure we're live on the Twitch. Are we live on the Twitch? Yes, indeed. We are. Good. Good, good, good. All right, all right. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Let me get everything all shared and ready to go. Let's get everything all shared and ready to go. Come on now. All right. Let's see. All right. All right. Okay. Beautiful. Good. And good. There we go. Let's get everything all shared up. Let's get a share party going. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. Yes. It's Thursday. All right. Let's get everything all set up here. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? All right. How's you guys' mornings going? Hope you guys had a restful evening last night. Let's time to make some money. Yes, it is time for the microcap mornings, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the microcap mornings. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Just getting everything all ready to go. But how you guys been? What did you guys get to do yesterday? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I got to chill with the family. That's what I got to do. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. Marty, good morning, Marty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. He says, hey, doubles, morning. Morning. Hope you're doing well, Marty. Hope you're doing well. I'm just getting everything all shared up and ready to go. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it. Yeesh. Yeesh, yeesh, yeesh. All right, good. Let's get everything all set over here. Bop right there. All right. All right. Give me that. All right. Let's see here. Get this all set up. Bob. Legal says hi. Hi, Legal. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. MAAA says good morning, Indelibles family. Good morning. Good morning, MAAA. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good morning to you.
All right.
Good morning.
Let's see here. Hold on one second. All right. Let's get this over here. All right. There we go. All right. There we are. All right. There we go. Pop right there. Let's make sure everything's all set. Everything's all copacetic. Boom, right there. All right. Got it all shared up and ready to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this intro started. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nicks in the house, a.k.a. the Rainmaker. And I'm here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets shot out the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to RBs and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Sometimes she'll even go to Mickey D's. Other times she'll go to places like Wendy's, or sometimes she'll go to places like Burger King or even KFC. She did call some wonderful stonks in the Stark Market. Yes, she called CHNR, LBGJ, SVRN, LNKS, and ASST. We call her DBL Moms. All right, so we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. So, yeah, I don't. Give me a second, man. Get right there, man. Get excited. I'll get there, man. Let me do the intro.
We got a party.
Good. Let me do the intro. We'll do the intro first. Then we get to the intro. I'm almost done with the kitty. Let me do a thing. Thank you. All right. Yes. Thank you. Now, where was I?
The intro!
I'm trying to remember what I was at now. All right. Oh, yes. Before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, Eric. He says, good morning, Goat. Good morning, Eric. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're having a great day. Bobo Beebs says, howdy. Howdy, Bobo. Hearing you, Lima Charlie. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Roger that. Yes. Good. Excellent. Excellente. Good. We're doing wonderful.
We are.
Wonderful.
Wunderbar.
Wunderbar. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on right there. That's what we got going on. We called quite a few good stonks today. So, let's get it started. Let's get started on the stonks we called today. All right. Justin Souter says, morning. Good morning, Justin. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. All right. Hang on one second. All right. So, we got quite a few stonks that we called earlier in the morning. Let's go over what they are. We called CHNR, all right, ran up a nice 86%. Called it earlier this morning. We we called LBGJ Lima Bravo Golf Juliet. So let's see here. LBGJ called it prior to a nice run up. 86%. 86%. LBGJ ran up 86%. All right. There we go. All right. Then we called SVRN Sierra Victor Romeo November. All right. SVRN. All right. Prior to a nice run up, 48%. Ran up 48%. Boom. Right there. That's what we got going on right there. SVRN. We call LNKS Lima November Kilo Sierra. LNKS, which ran up a nice 92%, ladies and gentlemen. Ran up a nice 92% right there. So that's it. So we're just made different, And the early bird gets the cash, ladies and gentlemen. The moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. And ladies and gentlemen, get your requests in now. Get your requests in, ladies and gentlemen, for stonks you want us to take a look at, ladies and gentlemen. Get that all set and ready to go right there. Get all that in and ready to go. We will give you a little while to get all the stonk requests you want in there. Put it in the chat. There we go. There we go. Put them in the chat, baby. Put them in the chat. All right. There we go. There we go. So that's what we got going on there, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So Bubba Beef says, I'm kind of busy, so I'm going to keep my powder dry and not trade. Maybe I will trade during power hour. All right, that's perfectly fine, Bobo. Yeah. Yeah, gotta work around your schedule. All right, that's it. That's the way it works. All right. Yes. Yes. So hey, if you got that going on, that's what you got going on right there. All right. All right. So let's take a look at CHNR since we're here. All right. Since we're here, hold on. Let me make this bigger over here. Let me make this a bit bigger over here. All right. And then let's go over the first stunk here. CHNR. All right. Formed a bit of an ABCD pattern, a little bit of an ABCD pattern, and then proceeded to form a bit of a pennant, fell below the VWAP, and then started to curl back up above the VWAP, and is testing the pennant right now as we speak. So CHNR currently up 63%. 63% has a 545,000 float, 23 million volume. So we got that going on right there. CHNR. All right. CHNR needs to break above the descending wedge right there that's formed off the ABCD pattern right there. Already broke the VWAP, so we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. But CHNR needs to keep curling. Can you give me my glasses, please? Don't put your finger on the lens. Do not put your finger on the lens. I know how you get. No. Bad. She keeps putting her finger on the lens, and then all of a sudden there's a little flabba-dabba spot. A little flabba-dabba. Yes, it is.
But I always have mine on top of my head, and what do? You pat me on the head. Like, thanks.
Yeah, well, you know, that's different. It's called it's called head pats.
No.
Head pats good.
Patty fingers all over my lenses.
Yeesh.
No.
All right. So, got that going on right there. Right? So, as of now, CHNR is trying to test that descending wedge right there. Needs to break above the descending wedge and curl, baby curl. Currently up 62% right now. CHNR had a high of 86%. 86%. So, you got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. Let me get a drink in me. Let me get some water. Some water in me. All right. So, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's take a look at LBGJ Lima Bravo Golf Juliet. Let's see how we do. All right. So, LBGJ had a bit of a double top at the 5-cent mark over here. All right. Let me make this bigger over here. There we go. There we go right there. All right. So, They did have a nice little move up off this little downtrend over here. It had a bit of a downtrend, curled its way back up over here, and then formed a bit of a descending wedge right over here. Now, can it break above this descending wedge? The descending wedge is the descending wedge. The descending wedge. I can't English today. I can't English today. The descending wedge is going to break it must break the descending wedge and break the VWAP. The VWAP. Yes. Alright. Needs to break the descending wedge in the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. You know what it was? I was speaking with a friend of mine who was German yesterday as well, so yeah. And he does like have a German accent sometimes, so it kind of messes with me if I hear an accent. It messes me up. LBGJ needs to break above the descending wedge, yeah, the descending wedge, and the VWAP, as well as the double top right there, for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So let's get a share party going. Let's get to 200, 200, 200, 200. All right, let's take a look at SCR. SCR. Serena Therapeutics Inc. common stock up 42%. Has some unconfirmed Q4 earnings due in 12 days on March 31st after the market closed. So we got that going on right there. Has a 5 million float, 16 million volume. Let's see what we got going on here. Has some indecisive wicks a little bit. Yeah, well, quite a lot of it. It's right. A lot of them are right over here. So, you got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. So, as of now, on that. All right, let me get rid of that. But yeah, no, a lot of choppiness over here. Then it kind of pulled its way on up just a little bit right over here. All right. And moved to the high point over here and then kind of formed a bit of a descending wedge right here. So as of now, needs to break above this VWAP. It needs to break above the descending wedge as well for it to be somewhat schmexy to me, but it did have some chop to it. So SCR, all right, needs more volume than what it's got because it did have low volume earlier. Now SCR has 5 million float, 16 million volume, so the volume is higher than the float, which is good, but it could use some more because it was a bit choppy, a little bit choppy, not crazy, but it could use more volume because more volume could never hurt. You know what I mean? SCR needs more volume to break the descending wedge. All right. Broke the VWAP already. Broke the VWAP. All right. Now all it needs to do is break that descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got? All right. Let's take a look at we already did CHNR. How about SUNE? SUNE. Let's take a look over here. SUNE sub VWAP. Not looking too schmexy there. Had a bit of a double top right over mya at the $1.81 mark right there. 181. There we go. And currently has to break above the VWAP right over here at the 182 mark right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. So there we go. There we go. There we go. So as of now, SUNE needs to break, is up 22%. 22%. All right, has a 3 million float, 9 million volume, has a conference call scheduled for today at 9 a.m. as well. Needs to break the double top at $1.81. Then needs to break above 182, which is where the VWAP is right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. But right now, it really just needs a bit more volume in that sense, but nothing crazy. All right, I mean, SUNE already has a higher volume than it does a float, so the float is 3 times less than the volume. So that's good, but it needs to break this VWAP really. It needs to break this VWAP. It needs to break the double top for it to be somewhat Mexi to Mya. SUNE needs to break the double top and the VWAP for it to become somewhat Mexi to Mya. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we need right there. Let's get a share party going to 200. 200, 200, 200. All right, let's take a look at SVRN, Sierra Victor, Romeo November. Let's take a look over here. All right, so as of now, this stock had a bit of a pullback. All right, tried to curl up a little bit off. It pulled back down over here, then kind of tried to consolidate and pull up slightly, and then it basically pulled back down over here. And now it looks like it's trying to maybe curl off this little downtrend here. But really needs to break the VWAP right here. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. SVRN, also known as Ocean Pal Inc., up 20% currently. Has some unconfirmed Q3 earnings due in 12 days on March 31st before the market open. So we got that going on as well. Looks like it's trying to curl a little bit off the downtrend, but we'll have to see. It needs to break the VWAP at 30 cents for it to be somewhat Mexi to Mya. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. So SVRE, SVRN, trying to break the downtrend, needs to break the VWAPA. All right. Yes. Now, SVRN is a bit of a heavy floated stock, 34 million, but the volume is higher at 49 million. So we got that going on right there. But again, it is a very heavy floated stock. So, we'll see what goes on with this stock. We shall see what goes on with this stock right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got that going on. Let's get a share party. Let's get to 300, 300, 300, 300. All right. Let's see here. GDXD. Let's take a look at GDXD. All right. GDXD looks like it's very low volume. It has an unknown float, 224K on the volume right there. All right, let's take a look and see what we got going on here. Lot of chop right over here. Indecisive wicks galore right over here. It is on a bit of an uptrend, but it is a very choppy uptrend, mind you. All right, which means the chances are good the float is a bit low. Plus, it is a bit, the volume is a bit low. It looks like the volume is a bit low, but the float is currently unknown, so we don't know for sure. Now, microsectors, gold miners, 3x inverse leverage ETNs are basically worth $63.92, which is a bit expensive for a stock, up 24%. So we got that going on right there. GDXD is currently very choppy, low volume, needs volume to it's on a very choppy uptrend, low volume, needs volume to break the choppy price action as well for it to be so much Mexi to me. So GDXD, choppy price action, needs more volume to remain friends with the trend, because it does have a bit of a choppy uptrend as well. So we got that going on right there. It is above the VWAP. 9 EMA is diverging from the VWAP. However, it is expensive too. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got going on. Ooh, let me see. Where is that?
It's a reply to. It's on Twitter.
Oh, okay. I see it. All right. SMX. Muhammad asked for SMX. Let's take a look at SMX. SMX currently down 1%. 1% right there. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. So let's get this all checked out over here. Very, 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 very checked. Yeah, let's check this out over here. All right. So as of now, SMX, very, very choppy price action over here. Down 1% as of now. This is SMX Public Limited Company right here. Security Matters Public Limited Company. So as of now, very, very choppy price action. A lot of indecisive wicks over here, which means low volume. Let's take a look at the float over here. The float is 2.2. It's pretty much 2 million and change. Volume is 31,000 and change. So as of now, the volume is a lot less than the float, which is not a good sign right there, because that means that there's a lot less demand than there is supply. There's a lot more demand, or excuse me, there's a lot more supply than there is demand. So not looking too schmexy right there. Not looking schmexy in terms of the float and volume right there. The float is normal, it's reasonable even, but the volume is low. So that's what you got going on right there. Currently down 1% right there. Let's see if it has any news. SMX powers a new materials economy as energy costs redefine the global supply chains. So they got that going on right there. And they secured the backbone of global critical minerals economy, which that's what they're saying. But again, none of this is really useful information for me. You know what I mean? None of this is really useful. Again, this all has to do with it being an energy company. You know what I mean? And basically, when it comes to energy companies, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I mean, great, cool, but it's not moving on any news pertaining to the actual company itself, but rather it's moving on news based on the industry itself. So if it's news based on the industry and not news based on the company, yeah, it'll get some volume maybe, but then after that, it kind of just dies out because it has nothing to do with the company itself. So that's the other thing. So right now they came out with like a bunch of vague news that doesn't really tell me anything other than that they're securing the global race for rare earths and critical minerals, which is like okay, that sounds like a in my opinion, at least a whole bunch of hoopla. You know what I mean? So, that's what they got going on right there. So as of now, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of news that's really looking good here. They did bring real world commodities into the blockchain era as global markets demanded proof, but even then, that's just what they're saying. They haven't done anything. These are all just like fluff. That's what these titles are really, is fluff. So, and all right, there is one. There is one though. The company announced a strategic partnership with Liquos to deploy an end-to-end infrastructure with Stack enabling verified industrial materials to become tradable digital assets. So they tried to do that, but other than that, there hasn't been much news since then, and that was on the 9th. That's like 10 days ago, so it's old news, really. It needs volume to really continue to go upward over here because it is very, very choppy as of now. It needs volume to break the VWAP and also to break that choppy price action. So we got that going on right there. So SMX as of now, choppy price action, needs volume to break the VWAPA and become somewhat schmexy to meow. So that's what we got going on for SMX. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on. Let's take a look and see what else we got. Let's get a share party. Let's get the 400. Alex says, good morning, Alex. He writes, what is the volume today? For which stock, brother? All right. He says, so far, best trade is 15%, but currently green $41 today. We need some chaos. Good chaos, hopefully. Yes, obviously, but ish. Yes, we do some good stuff. So we're on the hunt. We're on the hunt. Yeah, she's got a schnozzle to the ground. A schnoz. She's sniffing the ground, sniffing around, sniffing. Ish. She's sniffing the ground, looking for the next parabolic stock. Yes, yeah. See? Yeah. All right, let's take a look at ZSL, Zulu, Sierra Lima. Let's take a look and see how that is. Probably choppy. Let me take a look. All right, it is on a bit of an uptrend. ZSL is on a bit of an uptrend. Has an unknown float. Volume is 4 million, so we got that going on right there. Up 21%, right there. Moving its way on up right now. So ZSL up 21% right there. So it's currently up $28 right there as well. $28 is a bit pricey for a stock normally, so it is pretty pricey. But the volume is 4 million, so we got that going on right there. Let's see what the float is. We don't know. Actually, it doesn't show us. It doesn't show us the float. Let's take a look at the news, see if there's any news, any catalysts, Any news? Let's see. Alex says, good morning. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope you guys are having a good time. Hope you guys are doing well, ladies and gentlemen. ZSL is not really loading up any news as of late. Let's see. Ah, there it is. Let's see if there's any news from ZSL itself. Nope, no news from ZSL. So as of now, the stock is currently got a 4 million volume, is on a bit of an uptrend here. All right, so it seems like it could potentially be moving on low volume, but maybe, but we don't know without the float. So as of now, ZSL is on an uptrend, but yeah, it's on an uptrend. So ZSL is on an uptrend, up 21%. That's a good thing. So we'll see what happens there with the float. ZSL needs volume to remain friends with the uptrend right there. All right. Need some more volume to remain friends with the uptrend there. That's what we need to go and do right there. That's what it needs to go and do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's get that going on right there. Bop right there. Let's take a look at another stonk over here. Let's take a look at some stonks that are requested. Let me see. Let me see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cash, oh, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So that's what we got going on right now. That is what we got going on right now. All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right. Somebody requested OSS. OSS. Let's take a look at OSS. OSS. All right. Choppy. Choppy, choppy, choppy. Nah. Not looking schmexy to me. No, we don't like Chop City. We like Parabolic Park. That's what we like. Parabolic Park. That's what we like. We like Parabolic Park. And Big Stonk Boulevard. Yes, we like Big Stonk Boulevard. There we go. Big Stonk Boulevard and Bullish Boulevard. Bullish Boulevard and Big Stonk Street. Yeah, Big Stonk Street. All right, this right here is in Chop City. Right? We don't like that. We don't like Chop City. All right, so OSS currently down 4%. Very choppy, low volume. Very heavy float, 22 million in terms of float volume of 75,000. Not looking too schmexy there. Let's take a look at the news. Does it have any news? They climbed after the Q4 EPS beat on the 18th, which was yesterday. But other than that, it has pulled back since then. So it's got heavy. It's pretty heavy in terms of volume, or excuse me, in terms of float right there. So as of now, OSS, heavy float, light volume, choppy price action, needs volume to stay above the VWAPA. Otherwise, not schmexy. Not schmexy to me. Not schmexy to me. So, we need that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. Alright. So, somebody requested ATON. ATON. Let's take a look at ATON. As of now, not a lot going on there. Down 2%. Unconfirmed Q3 earnings in 12 days on March 31st after the market close. So they got that going on right there. Let's get a pennant over here for this stonk right here. Bop right there and bop right there, forming a bit of a pennant. Needs to break that pennant, and the VWAP for it to be so much mexy to me needs some more volume. ATON needs more volume. ATON needs volume to break the pennant and the VWAPA. As of now, for it to become so much schmexy to me. Let's take a look at CHNR, see how CHNR is doing. CHNR currently consolidated along the VWAP as of now, kind of consolidated along the VWAP as of now, needs to break the pennant and needs to break above the VWAP right there. So CHNR consolidated along the VWAPA needs to break the VWAP and the pennant for it to be so much maxi to mya. That's what we got going on for CHNR. CHNR. Let's see what we got going on here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. There we go. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get the 500. 500. Yes. Alex says yes. Good chaos. And I just hit an extra 0 on my order. Mob X wanted it for 1,200 shares, but instead I got 12,000, but up 5%. Can we push a new high a day? All right, let's take a look at MobX, see how it's doing. Eric also asks for MobX. So let's take a look at MobX, ladies and gentlemen. MOBX, MOBX. Let's take a look here. First things first, from what I'm noticing, my initial reaction to this is it is on a bit of an A to B, B to C, C to sort of D, right? Actually, I wouldn't even go so far as to say that. Honestly, truthfully, what I would give it is it was on a bit of an uptrend up here, right? Formed a bit of a pennant down here, curled off that pennant slightly over here, and then formed another pennant right over here, and now is kind of trying to curl above that pennant right now and stay up there. So that's pretty good right there, but it does have a bit of a double top. We don't like the double tops. We like the double bottoms. All right, so that's what we got going on right there. Apollo Man even asked for MOBX. A lot of people want MOBX. So right now, yes, MOBX formed a bit of a descending wedge, then formed a bit of a pennant, and looks like it's trying to curl above that right now. Can it stay above that little trend line there? Because it is forming a bit of a double top at the 63-cent mark. So it needs to break above the 63-cent mark, which is where the double top is right here. Because it is trying to move up. It was trying to move up a little bit, but then started consolidating a little bit underneath the 63-cent line right there. So you got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. So we'll see what happens with MOBX there. 36% up. Let's take a look at the float. Float is 93 million. So it's a very, very heavy floated stock. Volume is 56 million. So the volume is very, very low, ladies and gentlemen. So as of now, you got a very heavy float. You got a very low volume. And that's what you got going on right there in terms of that. So that's not a good sign right there. Let's take a look at the news, see if there's any good news for it. MobX does have news that they entered smart munitions market through anti-drone feasibility program. So anti-drone stuff, this pertains primarily to things going on in the Middle East as of now, because that's what a lot of this drone stuff is currently moving towards. MobX announces a continued production of communications hardware supporting secure network systems deployed aboard U.S. Navy ships. And they have defense communications hardware supporting those Navy ships right there. So we got that going on as well. And to top it off, their AI drone intelligence platform advanced through field testing and defense and infrastructure monitoring. So they got that going on right there. So they did have an AI intelligence platform for defense and infrastructure applications. So they got that going on as well. And that is some good news right there that came out on the 9th, which was about 10 days ago. But they did enter the smart munitions market through the anti-drone feasibility program. That's the most recent news that they got, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. However, they do have a heavy float and a very low volume. So as of now with MOBX, you take a look at the chart over here. It is kind of consolidating as of now because it is basically just doesn't have the volume. It needs volume to break above that double top and remain friends with the trend right there. So MOBX needs volume. It does need a lot of volume. So MOBX, ladies and gentlemen, MOBX needs volume to break the double top and remain friends with the trend right there. That's what it needs to do right there. That's what it needs to do right there. We'll see what goes on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to four. Let's get to 500. 500, 500, 500. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, remember that if you want access to our 4-day trial, real-time alerts and scanners, link to join us in the description down below, so be sure to check it out. Get a $9.99 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners and gain access to all of our incredible stonk picks we called CHNR prior to an 86% run, LBGJ prior to an 83% run, LNKS 92% run, and SVRN 48% run. That was just a couple of the stonks we called too. All right, you also get access to our amazing market mover scanner, our amazing newsroom, and all sorts of other amazing features. So, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. Keep an eye on it. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loots, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Woo! All right. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right. So, there we are. There we are. Let's take a look at some other stonks here. Let's see how SER is doing. SER. Let's take a look at it, ladies and gentlemen. SER curling off the descending wedge there. Curling off the descending wedge. SER looks to be curling off that descending wedge on a bit of an uptrend right now. So we got that going on right there. SER has a 5 million float, 20 million volume. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Curling off that descending wedge right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alex Martinez says SER looking like it's going to form cup and handle on the 1 and 5 minute charts. Well, yeah, it looks like it's curling right now. It's curling up real nice. Nice. You know what I mean? It's curling real nice off the descending wedge over here that I drew over here. So it formed a bit of a descending wedge there and then kind of started curling its way on up off that descending wedge. So right now it is moving its way on up, curling off the descending wedge, now up 59%. So we got that going on right there. SER curling off the descending wedge right there. All right. Up 59%. Can it continue the climb? Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. All right. Let's see what goes on. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 600. 600. Come on now. Let's get a share party going to 600%. 600 right there. 600. Yes, sir. All right. GDXD. All right. GDXD. Let's see what we got going on. All right, had a bit of a pullback over here, right? A little bit of a pullback. I'll go so far as to draw a little bit of a descending wedge right over here because it did have a little bit of a descending wedge and then proceeded to curl its way on off that descending wedge right there. So as of now, GDXD is still curling up on low volume. GDXD. All right. GDXD still curling up on low volume. Broke above the descending wedge. So it's still curling up on some low volume, which is fine. It is what it is, but it's still low volume. You know what I mean? It's still low volume. You know how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it goes. There we go. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 600. 600. Come on now. Yes, sir. All right. So let's see what other stocks we got requested of us today. All right. Let's see here. Alex Martinez says, can you take a look at SUNE, aka as I like to call it, Sunny? SUNE, Sunny. You know what? I'll call it Sunny too. SUNE, Sunny. All right. Has a bit of a double top right over here. All right. So looks like it could potentially be the beginnings of a head and shoulders, potentially. You got a shoulder here. You got a head over here. All it needs is another shoulder for it to be somewhat bearish right there. So needs to really break above and stay above that VWAP right there. Looks like it's pulling back below the VWAP right now. So not too schmexy right now. So it needs to break that double top and needs to break that and stay above that VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. SUNE, possible head and shoulders pattern forming, needs to stay above the double top, break above the double top, and stay above the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. That's what we got going on right there. SUNE, as of now, has a 3 million float, 11 million there. So SUNE, possible cup, head and shoulders pattern forming, needs volume to break the double top and stay above the VWAP. So it's got that going on right there. That's what it's got going on right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Boom. 1 second. 1 second. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 700. 700. All right. 700. Let's take a look and see what else we got over here. SUNE. Actually, let me get some support and resistance lines for it real quick. Up. Hold on. There we go. All right. There we go. Support. Resistance right there. All right. All right. All right. So as of now, SUNE forming the beginnings of a head and shoulders pattern needs to break above the resistance at 191, has to hold above 183, which is the VWAP, 181, which is the support line, has to break above 191, which is resistance, then has to break above the double top at 194, then after that 207 for it to continue to be schmexy to mya right there. So that's what it's got going on. It does have some support lines that it has to break above right now for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. So SUNE, as of now, SUNE needs to hold above the VWAPA and break the resistance line for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. All right. There we are. There we are. All right. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got? What else we got? Let's see. Let's take a look over here, see what else we got going on. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. All right. So, let's see about IREN. Somebody requested IREN. Ladies and gentlemen, put your request in the chat. Put your request in the chat, and we'll get to them, ladies and gentlemen. IREN. IREN. Let's take a look over here. IREN on a downtrend. Not looking too schmexy over here. Not looking too schmexy to mya. Not looking too schmexy right here. So IREN, as of now, low volume and on a downtrend, needs to break the down. Needs volume. IREN needs volume to break the downtrend, and the VWAP needs volume to break the downtrend and the VWAPA right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see here. Boom. Boom. All right. So, needs to break that area right there, needs to break that downtrend, needs to break the VWAP, needs to break all that stuff right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going to 700. 700, 700, 700. All right. Yeesh. So, we got that going on right there. Let's take a look. Paul Wass, thank you for the follow on the Facebook. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, all right, 1 second. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, somebody requested LNKS. LNKS. All right, let's take a look at LNKS. Let's see how it goes. All right, so LNKS had a bit of an A to B, B to C, C to D, and then after that formed a descending wedge. For all right, that's what it had going on right there. It needs to break the descending wedge. Needs to break the VWAP as well for it to be somewhat mexi to mya. Has some unconfirmed Q1 earnings due in 12 days from now on March 31st before the market open. Is up 25% right there. 25%. Needs to break that 25% mark. Needs to break the VWAP right here at 88 cents, right? For it to be so much mexi to mya. LNKS as of now, LNKS needs to break above the descending wedge and the VWAPA for it to be so much mexi to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. That's what it needs to do right there. That's what it needs to do. All right. Justin Souders asks for EONR. EONR. Let's take a look at EONR. All right. So, EONR, let's get some support and resistance lines here. All right. Let's get the support right over. Yeah. Hold on. Boom. Resistance right here. All right. So, as of now, you got support at 109, resistance at 112, and then you got more resistance at 117. It looks like 112 was quite the resistance line as well. It does have a lot of instances of chop, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of instances of chop here for EONR. Chop over here, and chop over here. Those are the more recent results, but if you want to go further back, over here there was chop, over here there was chop, over here there was chop, over there was chop, and yeah, not looking too schmexy right there. So as of now, EONR needs to stay above the VWAP and break above the 112 resistance line. That's what it's got going on right there. Has a resistance line at 112, needs to break that resistance. So as of now, EONR needs volume to stay above the VWAPA and break above the 112 resistance line. That's what's got going on right there. That is what's got going on right there. All right. So, yeesh. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 800. All right. All right. Let's see here. Alex says SUNE pulling back off the 20 EMA so far. That has been a great support for it. Did have a slight dip below, but back to moving up. All right, let's take a look at SUNE. See how it's doing. SUNE. Give me 1 second. 1 second right there. All right. Let's see. All right. There we go. So, SUNE, as of now, broke above the high of day temporarily, up 42%. Broke above it once again. Nice. Let's see over here. Let's see. Ooh, it's moving up. SUNE moving up 47%. Broke the high of day. SUNE broke the high of day, up 47% right now. SUNE broke the high of day, up 47%. There we go. And is testing it once again. Broke through it once again, ladies and gentlemen. Broke through the high of day once again. Nice, nice, ladies and gentlemen. It's moving and going fast. Let's go. Alex says, yes, sir. SUNE curling its way on up. SUNE curling on up right now. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. All right. So we'll see what happens there, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens with SUNE. SUNE. Yeesh. All right, let's take a look over here. SUNE testing the high day once again. SUNE testing the high of day once again. Yes. So we got that going on right there. SUNE broke the high of day. All right, and then after that, started testing the new high of day before pulling back a little bit. So it's got that going on right there. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 900. 900, 900, 900. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So as of now, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. All right. So let's see. Let's see here. All right. So let's see. Yes, let's get a share party going on. Let's get a share party, share party, share party. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Just gotta blow my nose a little bit. It's a little stuffy. Give me 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, all right, all right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Yeesh. Because, I had to blow my nose, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it goes. You know how you make a tissue dance. You put a little boogie in it. You know what I mean? All right. That's a dad joke.
Come on now.
How do you make a tissue dance? You put a little boogie in it. That's the joke.
You went there twice.
It's a dad joke.
No.
Dad jokes. Don't make me whip out the dad jokes, because I will.
No.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Come on.
I feel like I'm being challenged right now for some dad jokes. I don't know. I feel like DBO Moms is asking for dad jokes now. Oh, yeah, you did. All right. Let me ask you a question. Why did the Jaguar eat the tightrope walker? It was craving a well-balanced meal. All right. Yeah, all right. What's the knight's favorite fish? What's the knight's favorite fish?
What?
What is a knight's favorite fish?
I don't know.
Swordfish. Okay. That was
Wow,
bad.
That's bad. And you say my singing is bad.
Oh, my God.
Come on now.
Hey.
Come on now.
All right, fine. What do you call a sleeping bull?
What?
A bulldozer.
That was actually good.
That was a good one, huh? All right. So, why do seagulls fly over the sea? Well, do you know it? Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels.
Okay.
Ah, 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 ah. Anyways, as I was saying with my stonks, all right? Yeah. Kneel before the king of dad jokes, and I'm not even a dad yet. Yeah. Oh, boy. It is going to be a fun time when I am, though. Ha, ha, ha. Going to be a fun time. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun time, though. Dad jokes for days. All the dad jokes. Justin Souders put face palms. Oh, come on, Justin. Come on, Justin. You really gonna do me like that, Justin? Justin, come on now. I, it was good. It was good. Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Man. Can't have nothing, can I? Can't have nothing. Can't have nothing. Aye, all right. Now I got another one for you.
I can see
What do you
those kids
call?
now saying, "Good Lord, no, Dad, please no."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look. I had to suffer. I mean, rejoice through Dad singing. So I mean, what? Hmm.
I heard that.
Nothing. Anyways.
I got my eyes on you.
Bobo
I got
Beeps
my
made some
eyes
laughing.
on you.
Bobo Beeps made some laughing, and Justin Souter said, "Nah, it's too early.
No,
Too early."
No. What is it? No.
Justin Souter said, "Too early.
No.
Too early for
It
dad
really
jokes.
is, yeah.
Too early." Ah, fine. No fun. No fun. Can't let me have nothing. Mm-mm. But hey, Bobo Beeps at least liked it. Bobo liked it. All right, but you know, but what do you call a sentient stew?
What?
What do you call a sentient stew? Stewie! Let's give him a boy.
You were gonna say that. I knew it.
Stewie. A
I
sentient
have no
stew.
idea what he's talking about.
I said a
That was
sentient stew.
reaching, but okay, just to mention Stewie. Speaking of Stewie.
Yes.
I like Stewie.
Yeah.
He's my boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been
Where is Stewie?
any segue to Stewie apart from that joke.
Stewie been on vacation. He been on vacation.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. He went to the Bahamas. I don't know. Don't ask me. I got the. I ain't got all the Stewie lore. All right. He said at least wait till the markets open, lol. I mean, yeah. You're right. I could. Yeah.
We had a request for Mavex. I don't know if that was a while ago.
That was a while ago. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Yesh. So, I got one more. All right. What do you call a pig that? Yes. What do you call a pig that does karate?
What?
What do you call a pig that does karate? A pork chop. Ah.
That's the chocolate that's coming out.
Okay, all right. My bad, G. My bad. I'm sorry. Whoa. Bobo Beef says I'm stealing all of those except the last one.
Yeah, really.
I was waiting for some stonks to start, to move and groove right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm waiting for the stonks to move and groove, so I'm just having a little fun.
I saw Stewie do a face palm. He just didn't let you see it.
No, what you mean? You saw him do a face palm?
Oh, Stewie.
Stewie's
like,
no, Stewie's digging the dad jokes.
You guys for 2 days or whatever.
Hey, Stewie's digging the dad jokes. He even has the dad cap. Look, here's the dad cap right there. He's got a little dad cap. Boom.
No golf club?
No golf club. You just get the dad cap. What? Not every dad has to have a golf club.
I beg to differ.
No. Coach doesn't have a golf club, and he's my dad. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, not every dad has to have a golf club. Can have dad jokes. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stewie's walking along.
Yeah, so he's walking along. He's walking along the VWAP right now, and hoping to get, he's looking right now for some stonks right now. He's hoping to God that he finds one because, I'm currently on the prowl with some dad jokes right now. So let's take a look at SER. SER, still climbing up a little bit off the descending wedge right over here. Up 64%, 64% right there. Having a good old time right there. Having a good old time. All right. So, as of now, SER currently up 64% and climbing slightly right now. Yesh. So you got that going on right there. SER curling off the descending wedge still. It's still on that uptrend right there. Pulled back a little bit and then proceeds to curl back up. So we got that going on right there. Needs to remain friends with the trend. SER currently up 66%. 67% and climbing slowly but surely. SER curling up 67% right there. So there we go. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right. Now, obviously with each and every stonk, we got the ceremonial dad joke. So, what do you call an alligator in a vest?
An alligator in a vest.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I haven't seen too many alligators.
An investigator.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
It is my favorite pastime.
No.
Driving DBL moms crazy.
Just no.
Yes. Yes.
You got that one, Bobo Beebs? You wrote it down? Okay.
Oh, God. All right.
No.
Yeah. Look. All I'm saying is sometimes it just be like that, man. It do be like that sometimes.
Oh, you be like that. No.
Yes. Yes. Look, you gotta make some good dad jokes every once in a while, okay? I gotta make some, you know what? Blame my girl. Blame my girl because she makes dad jokes sometimes too.
Did she give you those?
No.
Okay,
But we've been having a contest and now it's in my noggin, so now you must suffer. Yeah. What you mean? She's the one that started it. Yes, sir. Look, she challenged me to dad jokes. She challenged me to dad jokes, and you know what? I was gonna be the winner, one way or the other. Okay, I get competitive. I get competitive. All right, I got competitive. She started it. She started it. God bless her. Yeah. Anyways, let's take a look at it. No. There was no what have I done. There was just me winning. And that was it. You're like I was challenged. I get competitive for every now and then, a little bit like Coach does with Fortnite, only I get competitive with everything else. And yeah. SCR currently forming a double top on the $2.11 mark. Needs to break the double top at $2.11. SCR needs to break the double top at $2.11. $2.11 right there. That is where the double top is. It's a resistance line right there. It needs to break that double top at $2.11 for it to be so much Mexi to Mya. Right there. That's what we got going on. That is what we got going on right there. All right. All right, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 1100. 1100. We are 2 minutes away from the bell. The bell! It deafens me. Hey, Justin, guess what? I'm waiting until the market's open. You got 2 minutes, buddy. He said, at least wait till the market's open. All right. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you on that. He's like, oh no, what have I done? Oh, sweet. Oh no. SUNE. Let's take a look at SUNE. Let's take a look at it. Stewie's just chilling there right now with his dad cap. Let's see. SUNE. I don't know. Is Stewie a dad? I don't know if he's a dad yet. But I don't know. We haven't gotten into Stewie lore yet. We'll get there. New Stewie lore dropped.
SCR is got a new high, 218.
Ooh. All right. SCR. See how high it is for me. SCR. SUNE. All right, 63%. Okay, no, 67% was one of the highs right there. So, SUNE currently trying to curl off the descending wedge right now, bouncing off the support line all the way at 197. 197 right there. Oh my God, we made Stewie very thin. SUNE currently trying to bounce off the support line and break the resistance at $2.15. $2.15 right there. So formed a bit of a double top right at the 206 mark right there. 206 and is trying to curl off the descending. Justin says TPET. I think he either did that to make me stop doing dad jokes or he's like counterpoint TPET. All right, you got me there, Justin. All right, touche, Justin, touche. I'm kidding, brother. All right, SUNE needs to break the VWAPA and the descending wedge. It is above the VWAPA. It needs to break the double top. Excuse me. The double top and the descending wedge. Excuse me. Double top and the descending wedge. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
SCRE moving.
SCRE moving. All right.
We got a request for T-Pet.
T-Pet. SUNE as well broke the descending wedge, testing the high a day. SUNE broke the high a day, broke that high a day, now up to $2.18. That's the new high a day. SUNE broke the high a day right there. SUNE broke the high of day. All right, SER. Let's take a look at SER, and then we're going to take a look at T-Pet. We'll take a look at T-Pet for you, Justin, in just a second. All right, SER. Let's take a look over here. SER climbing its way on up, shooting up like a rocket, up 82%, 83%, and climbing, ladies and gentlemen. SER climbing, shooting up 86% now. 86%. 87%. Come on now. Come on. Get higher. Yes, sir. SER shot up to 87%. Shot up 87% right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so it shot up 87% right there. SER. There we go. There we go. All right, there we are. Boom. All right. Beautiful. Now, let's take a look over here. Let's take a look at T-Pet in the meantime. TPET, TPET. All right, let's see over here. All right, so T-Pet currently moving downward right now on a bit of a downtrend off a double top right over here. Currently sub VWAP as well, so it's got that going on right there. Has a double top right here. Doesn't look like it has much in terms of volume. If you look over here, there is a bit of chop going on. So you got chop right here, all right, and you got chop right here, all right. You have indecisive wicks over here. All right, a lot of chop going on and a lot of barcoding and a lot of centralization of the price action. And then it just pulls down over here and drops like a rock. So as of now, T-Pet currently is down to 0.9% right there and is pulling downward as of now. Has some unconfirmed Q1 earnings due in 12 days from now on March 31st after the market close. So T-Pet, as of now, we're going to take a look at the floating volume in just a minute. Give me 1 second. T-Pet needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA with a lot of volume. Vitamin V, ladies and gentlemen, vitamin V right there. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right. Float is 10 million and change. Volume is 5 million and change. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right. T-Pet does have some news. Again, this is a petroleum company. So you know how this goes, ladies and gentlemen. It's basically one of those stocks that's moving up on the fact that it is a petroleum company and not so much that it actually did much of anything. Again, there's a lot of geopolitical stuff occurring that's basically making these petroleum companies move the way they move right now. So it's kind of manipulating that. So T-Pet, as of now, filed a quarterly Form 10, on the 17th, which was 2 days ago, and they have completed a transformational $19 million raise under the ATM program, so they got that going on right there. That's something they actually did. However, the thing is that now it's pulling back quite a bit. It is now to 0% and is trying to curl up, but it did have a massive downtrend right now, so it needs volume. SER, let's take a look at SER in the meantime. SER in the meantime, let's take a look and see what it's got going on. It's got a bull pattern right there. SER, currently on the uptrend right now, currently on that uptrend right there. Still and it is forming a bull pattern right there, but it is currently, let me actually get some support and resistance lines here. Let me get some support and resistance lines. All right, you got this and this right here. So as of now, it's got support at 220, resistance at 243. So it's got that going on right there. That's what it's got going on. Has to break above the 243 mark for it to be schmecked to me. Needs to remain friends with the trend as well. Ladies and gentlemen, needs to remain friends with the trend. It was trying to test that high a day though, so I will give it that. All right. All right. SER needs to break the high of day at $2.43, 243, for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. All right. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. All right. Since we're here, all right. All right. All right. Let's see here. So, since we're here and we're doing this right now, let me ask a question, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't big cats play poker in the safari? What do you mean, oh no?
Why?
Why
Why
don't
don't big cats play what?
why don't big cats play poker in the safari?
Why don't big cats play poker in the safari?
Why?
I don't know.
It's because there's too many cheetahs.
There's too many what?
Cheetahs.
Oh, cheetahs.
Ah!
It's getting worse and worse.
What you mean it's getting worse and worse?
Oh my goodness.
What you mean? Hey, Stewie, you like them, right?
Doubles, you know how bad my singing is, right?
Okay, let's not get crazy.
The jokes are
Let's not
worse.
get crazy.
The
No, no,
jokes
no,
are
no,
worse.
no, 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 no,
They're
no,
worse. They're worse.
no,
They are.
no,
He is going for the big
No.
boom.
no, no.
It hurts, Doubles. It hurts.
Yes.
All right,
It hurts, Doubles.
there's Stewie just Hey, where you going? Where do you think you're going? Why are you running that way? Get back here,
Why are you running?
Stewie. Why are you running? Why are you running? He's currently running for up from SER for dear life. All right, so.
Okay.
All right.
So,
My bad, Stewie. My bad. All right. Anyways, so we got that going on right there. Let's see what we got going on as well. Let's get to 1300, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 1300. 1300 right now. Come on now. Come on. All right. So let's take a look over here. Let's see how CHNR is doing. CHNR. Currently on the pennant right now. Still consolidated along the VWAP right now. CHNR, that really hasn't changed much. CHNR still consolidated along the VWAP. All right. Still consolidated along the VWAP. Needs to break the VWAP and the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. CHNR still very, very much so consolidated along the VWAP right there. Needs to break that VWAP and needs to break the pennant as well for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. That's what it needs to do right there. That's what it needs to do. Yes, sir. Let's take a look and see what else we got going on here. LBGJ. As of now, pulled down, ladies and gentlemen. Pulled back down. Not looking schmexy there. Pulled down. Needs to break the downtrend. Needs to break the downtrend for it to be so much schmexy to me. That's what it's got going on right there. LBGJ needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA right there for it to be so much schmexy to me. There we go. There we go. Let's take a look at Ella. ELA. Ella, AAA. You know what I mean? All right. Low volume. Moving up on some very low volume right now. 7 million float. It's 95,000 volume. All right. Moving up slightly on low volume. ELA. Moving up slightly on low volume. ELA. Moving up slightly on low volume right there. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. There we go. All right, all right, all right. Beautiful. Okay. There we are. All right. So, that's what we got going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. Yeah, we normally joke around and have a lot of fun in this show, but ladies and gentlemen, we do take this really seriously in real life and all that other stuff. But as of now, we need to keep you guys entertained, man. It can't just be like boring stuff. I can't just put on like some sort of, you know, funny little accent and say, oh, it's moving along the demand zone. No, bro. I don't do that. All right. It's not funny. It's not cute. But what I do like to do is make sure that you guys have a good time, that you guys laugh and you guys learn. All right. That's pretty much the goal here. That is something that I always like to do with most of these videos. And Coach can agree that yeah, it's a wonderful way to just enjoy yourself, because hey, why not learn and have a little bit of fun while you do it? You know what I mean? That's basically what we like to do. That's what we like to do right there. That is what we enjoy doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our wonderful, wonderful scanners. We got everything going on over here. All right. So, hold on one second. Hold on one second. All right. Marty says, have a little extra fun. Yeah, you're right, man. That's right. We like to have a little bit of extra fun. You know what I mean? Because why would we want to be dry, man? We could we could have fun. That's what we do with the indelible pride anyway. So you know what I mean? Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful when we do that stuff. So, quick thing before we wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. If you've been watching and you're serious about small caps, don't sit on the outside trying to piece together, ladies and gentlemen. We got a 4-day full access pass for only $9.99, and it's full access. So if you come inside, you see how we actually operate live and in living color, ladies and gentlemen. So you get to witness how we structure trade ideas, how we map levels, how we think about risk, and how we handle momentum. You'll get next day early watch list as well, and you'll also get access to the 24/7 market news flow, which is on the right-hand side of the screen right here. It shows all sorts of hyperlinks as well as markets, as well as synopsis of every single article that's being shown there, the hyperlinks to the article, and a hyperlink to the ticker that is affiliated with news within said article, so you get more information on that news. You also get access to pre-market, regular hours, and after hours scanners, so you basically get access to this thing, which is on the lovely left over here. It's on the left over here, and basically it shows you the ticker, the price, the volume, the float. All right, as well as context built right in, as well as a change of percentage and all sorts of other things like the hyperlinks to the stocks right there that we are looking at on the market mover scanner, which is just one of the many scanners that we have, ladies and gentlemen. That is one of the many scanners that we have. So be sure to check that out as well. All right. And to top it off, you'll see our ticker tape, which is built to catch stocks just when they're starting to heat up before they go parabolic. And they also have hyperlinks as well to learn more about the stock, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wonderful research tool. This ain't noise, it's structure. So if that's how you want to approach this market, grab the 4-day pass and come see it live. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check it out, ladies and gentlemen. And when you come in, let us know that you saw us on the stream. We would love to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on. Be sure to check us out on our YouTube at Coaching Money. We do lots of live streams, lots of videos, lots of stock reviews, lots of stock analysis, all sorts of shorts, as well as long form videos. You can find that there again at Coaching Money. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring. Ladies and gentlemen, sharing is caring. All right. And of course, check us out on our X.com, aka Twitter, at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming as well, lots of stock reviews and stock analysis too. All right. And you can find us on Twitch at Coaching Money,
At Coaching Money.
where we do lots of live streaming there as well. Be sure to follow us on our X. Be sure to follow us on our Twitch as well. Be sure to check us out on our Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money, where we do lots of the same things, stock reviews, stock analysis. All right. So we got that going on as well. So you can check us out there, follow us, like it, comment, give us a follow on that. And yeah, show us some love. And also, ladies and gentlemen, check us out on TikTok, Tiki Taki, aka the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL NICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. So be sure to check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to show it some love, ladies and gentlemen. Some love, love, love. All right. So yeah, be sure to do that, ladies and gents, because that's what we got going on. That is what we got going on. All right. And yeah, be sure to check out our show Power Plays, coming real soon at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. All right. It is being hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, who basically he goes around and takes a look at the stocks, gives his honest review and analysis of the stock market, right there, right? He basically gives his honest review of the stock market right there and basically, shows what his opinions are of the stock market going in there. And then he basically decides to let the stock simmer on some high heat, lets him simmer on high heat as he basically goes and gets some dubs for the community. Some dubs for the community, ladies and gentlemen. Some dubs for the community. So he gets to do all that right there. That's what he likes to do. He likes it like that. You like it like that? He likes it like that. So he basically does a lot of getting some dubs for the community, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of dubs for the community. So be sure to check that out. It's Power Plays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check it out. Yes, and there's also a new season of Fortnite that Coach is going to be getting into. So we got that going on right there. It's got the foundation. It's got the foundation, who is played by none other than The Rock. So yes,
not the Ice King.
yes, the foundation.
Foundation.
The foundation. He decided to take the foundation side, so now Dad is officially working for the 7. So that's a thing that's going on now. So yeah, that's what we got going on. So much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later for Power Plays. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves, and peace out. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. I'm here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets shot at the cannon and she goes, wee! Other times she likes to party and go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go into the stock market and find them ABCDs. All right, she did call some wonderful stocks like CHNR, LBGJ, SVRN, LNKS, and ASST. We call it DBL Moms. That's what we got going on. So much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day.